Alright, so we will be debunking Death Battle and how sorry they are when it comes to scaling in general. By the way, they didn't really have access to our current games or etc. So I won't be using any of those feats to scale Shadow at all.
You can also manipulate time and space with chaos control, though depending on the situation, using this technique to its fullest takes time and is impractical in combat.
So not even a couple of seconds in the video, I'm already pissed off. I'm in awe that they even tried to come up with some bullshit like that when it's never even implied or stated. Funny that they show no evidence or proof for this at all.
Also, Shadow wears 2 inhibitor rings, which restrict his access to the Chaos Force to maintain control. Should he remove them, his power increases immensely, but is somewhat uncontrollable and quickly tires him out.
Death Battle. You do realize that Shadow doesn't use the Chaos Force in the games. So why would that ever be relevant?
His Chaos power also increases depending on the number of Chaos Emeralds he has. And when he gets 7 of them, he goes Super.
Super Shadow is the pinnacle of his powers, receiving a 1000% increase.
He can fly, move near the speed of light, and is totally invincible.
Funny, Death Battle. 1000% increase? Gee wonders. It's not like it's never stated in the series that they don't have infinite power when it comes to just one of the Chaos Emeralds, but let's ignore that. In the Japanese kaiji, it's stated that Sonic transcends space and time, which would be 4D and immeasurable speed. Sonic and Shadow are relative to each other, including superdimensional Solaris and how he is omnipresent. And if we're taking that into account, he would be just 5 or 6 dimensional. And you could get him to 7th dimensional if you can get the imaginary world to 5th dimension. I'm not saying it is impossible to get Shadow 2 there. It's pretty easy. It's just I'm trying to spare Death Battle's arguments right now.
Despite this, Shadow's super form can only last a few minutes.
But considering his super speed, a short time to him is a long time to his opponent.
Funny that the very first time we see a super form, it requires 0 rings. Take a look. Okay, and we can also say that Sonic can stay in this form for days. Look. Please don't bring up the SA2 dialogue where it states that Sonic states that you need to switch between characters to maintain your ring energy or some shit like that. You notice how I'm talking about you and not Shadow or Sonic? It's directly speaking about you, the player, not Sonic or Shadow. If I'm wrong, which I'm not, then that would still mean that it's inherently talking about you, not losing rings, not the actual in-game verse. And this occurs again in Sonic 06, where it's even worse. Silver says switch to characters with the Y button or the triangle button, which explains a lot in how it's a game mechanic and is speaking about you, the player, instead of the actual characters on the cast. This makes more sense logically since this happens and occurs multiple times within the Sonic series. I mean, if that robot Chow from Sonic Generations or Sonic Adventure 2 says that you need to use X to use a spin dash, does that mean in the game verse you actually need X to use a spin dash? Right. No, you don't.